Dear Dennis, the creator of Theme Park Tycoon 2, something needs to change. This video and some of the ideas and stuff I'm going to be talking about in this video, I've been thinking about for probably months now. And I think a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about is very prevalent in the Theme Park Tycoon 2 community. It's quite a common concept and idea. And I can't speak for everyone in the community, of course, but from what I've heard, it's something that a lot of creators and well, builders and players of Theme Park Tycoon 2 have been thinking in the community. Now, you may be wondering then, if I've been thinking about this for months, why am I publishing this video now? 𝗬𝗵 just came up with a video saying some of the stuff that we're going to be going through today, and I very much agree with what he said in his video, but there's some stuff that I want to add from my own personal perspective, as someone who, quite frankly, I'm not afraid to say what I believe, even if it does make me sound like a bit of a dickhead, because I am a dickhead. But no, I just want to give a completely unbiased, kind of unfiltered talk about Theme Park Tycoon 2. And also just kind of address Dennis and ask him to change and fix some of these really big issues, some of which are super simple to fix. So first of all, let's talk about communication, the main point of 𝗬𝗵's video. Now, communication between us, the player, and Dennis has always been, well, not amazing, or at least by always, I mean for the last couple of years since I basically started creating in this space, Dennis has not exactly, you know, been very good at communications with players. Now, I don't exactly know why this is, but at some point Dennis just stopped posting on Twitter and became a very private person. From what I've heard in the past, he was not as private as he is now. Of course, I'm not sure what happened, but of course it isn't my business, it's not your business, it's not anyone's business except from Dennis. But unfortunately, Dennis just doesn't really share what's going on. He hasn't made a single tweet on his Dennis account in, well, years now, and it really doesn't help when it comes to actually building a community around Theme Park Tycoon 2 and keeping players interested and wanting to keep on playing the game. One of the main problems that 𝗬𝗵 also brought up in his video is the fact that players have no idea when an update's coming. They have no idea what's coming in the next update. They have no idea what's even in the update a lot of the times, because it's literally just told in a changelog when the update comes out, and that's pretty much it. Other than, of course, the pop-up at the title screen, which is a really nice addition, but I think the fact that players got so excited when that was being added says quite a lot about how, well, Dennis communicates updates and basically just things that are going on in the game. And this is something that 𝗬𝗵 also talks about in his video, which is community managers and also promoting community videos or content or events. Welcome to 𝗬𝗪𝘁 is an absolutely amazing example of this. It's not, of course, super realistic for Dennis to do something as big scale as that. That game is a lot more bigger scale. It has a full development team behind it. In fact, it has a whole game studio behind it. But just the idea of a community manager or promoting videos and, of course, events like RCX. I would have absolutely loved if RCX was promoted, or even if Dennis just got involved in some way, which I understand with an event that isn't hosted by Dennis. Obviously, there's some risk to it because he doesn't know me personally, but still, it would be really great to be able to either develop events with Dennis, or even just Dennis himself run events. Obviously, events don't have to be as big scale as RCX, but just events that happen every so often in the game. The closest thing we have is stuff like missions, which are really great, and I really enjoy missions. It brings back those events that we used to have back in like 2018-ish, but I'm talking more actual, you know, big scale events, which would obviously be quite difficult for Dennis alone to actually achieve and do himself. I understand a lot of work goes into that, which is why a community manager would be great. There's also, of course, the factor of whenever you message Dennis, he is very helpful in the way that, you know, you can speak to Dennis himself. He gives you, most of the time, a helpful reply, which does, you know, answer your question. And if you've got a bug that needs fixing, you can go straight to Dennis and he will fix it and solve the issue for you. But the issue is with contacting Dennis is he is very robotic with his replies. And a lot of the times, if I do want to report a bug, or I've found an issue, or I've got an idea which would improve the game, in my opinion, as a player, I just don't want to even contact him because it feels kind of pointless, because he gives a robotic reply. You already know what you're going to get, and maybe he'll implement your idea, but honestly, is it even worth it? Because he's not even going to properly take it in, and he's just going to give you a robotic reply anyway. I'm not saying that Dennis should take every single idea and add it into the game, but when you contact him with an idea, or you just need some help from him, it feels really impersonal, and it feels like you're kind of just talking to one of those chat robots, you know, like it feels like you're not really talking to a real person. It would be really great if Dennis just actually announced, you know, updates, or he spoke more about the development of updates, what's coming, what he's got planned, and stuff like that on Twitter. I think the idea alone that creators need to make update videos, and especially that creators need to make live streams that are, you know, counting down to the update, but they don't know when the update's actually going to happen, and theorizing what needs to, what's going to be in the update. It's insane. Like, that shouldn't really be a thing that needs to happen. Obviously, update videos will always happen, but the fact that update videos need to happen for, you know, players to really understand what's being added to the game, because it's not promoted anywhere officially on Discord, on a Twitter, on anything. It's obviously not ideal, is it? Anyway, that's enough talking about the communication. I'm sure you get the idea. I also just wanted to speak a bit more about the game, like the actual, you know, game itself. Theme Park Tycoon 2, I absolutely love with all my heart. It's my favorite game. Obviously, that's why I create content for it. I don't think there'll ever be a game like Theme Park Tycoon 2 that I enjoy quite as much, until at least someone comes out with a better theme park game. But there's just some issues with Theme Park Tycoon 2 that are incredibly infuriating, especially because some of them are just super easy to fix. And again, Dennis is well within his right to develop his game however he wants and do whatever he wants. But at the end of the day, the people who are playing your game, they know what needs changing, especially the people that play a shit ton of your game. For example, the map. Everyone, universally, that I have ever talked to hates the new map. It makes it impossible for low-end devices to play Theme Park Tycoon 2 if people have big parks loaded in, because they're all round in a ring, which means that you're loading at least 3 parks in at once, and that is the very minimum of parks you'll be loading in, really. This also causes massive problems for the Roblox servers as well. I've noticed in pretty much every single showcase of your park stream that I have done since the new map, I have disconnected because the entire Roblox server has crashed at least once per stream. That is obviously ridiculous, and outside of Theme Park Tycoon 2, I cannot think of a single other game that has a problem like that. I know probably part of this is to do with the increased plot size, and I understand that that's obviously sort of a risk when you increase the plot size, and I'm not saying Dennis should lower the plot size, but what I am saying, the parks are too closely located to each other in a map and in a bad layout. It works for a game like Water Park World, and I can clearly see the inspiration from that, but it doesn't work in Theme Park Tycoon 2 because people build really complex things, and the MB limit for a plot is way higher. But I can tell you for certain, one very easy solution would be not having all the plots located next to each other in a ring so that you can load in all the parks around you. And now, something that is really super easy to fix, and a massive problem that I see with Theme Park Tycoon 2, and this is coming from someone who is also a games developer, Dennis. So I'm not just talking about theoreticals here, I am talking about facts. Changing the icon of a Roblox game, you know, every single update or every so often, will increase the players on your game. That is actual facts based on actual statistics. When you change the icon on your game, that signifies to players that there has been an update and there is a reason to play your game again. But the fact that literally the icon has not changed for, I think, 2 years now, means that players who aren't just going to play Theme Park Tycoon 2 are not going to come back to the game. They think nothing has changed in 2 years because the icon hasn't changed in 2 years. Obviously, dedicated players and people that come back every so often, and players in the community like me, we know there's been an update, but the millions of people on Roblox do not know there's been an update. And the thing is, they're not even going to know if you announce it on Twitter, and they're of course not going to know if you announce it on the board when you get into the main menu, because people aren't going to click on your game if they don't think there's any reason to. Changing the icon would be such a simple thing. Just put a photo of what's in the new update, like you used to do, Dennis, and that will, in my opinion, based off of facts, increase the players of the game. Why has this not been done for 2 years? I don't know. It makes my brain hurt. And it pisses me off because I want Theme Park Tycoon 2 to be as successful as possible. Obviously, I do. Not only for the personal gain of I'm a Theme Park Tycoon 2 creator. The more popular Theme Park Tycoon 2 is, the more money I make. But also, of course, because I love the game and I want to see it do successfully. Dennis puts in a ridiculous amount of work. He deserves the success, and I don't really understand why he is like limiting himself by just not changing the icon. Anyway, that's a rant that I need to go through right there. Other than that though, there's not really anything else that I'm going to sit here and tell Dennis to change, because obviously there are a million other things, such as, well, we need new trees, we need new plants. We could do with being able to paint stuff glass in the painter tool, but I'm not going to go for it because it's not something that's really necessary and not something that I feel like needs going into in this video. But that's everything that I wanted to talk about, more to do with the actual game and Dennis himself. But I also just want to speak about the Theme Park Tycoon 2 community, and especially the creator community. It's really sad, in my opinion, to see the real deterioration of the Theme Park Tycoon 2 creator community. As someone who's been doing this since 2020, I've seen a lot of creators come and go over those years, but I feel like recently Theme Park Tycoon 2 has been losing creators more than ever before, and especially very promising creators who I think would have been really successful in another world. As it currently stands, the only active creators that are above 10k subscribers on YouTube is me, Kosii, 𝗬𝗵𝘃, and 𝗪𝗵𝘁. I might be missing someone, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. Only 4 creators, and creators like Benny have left the community, and other creators have left the community because they're just not really seeing the potential of their videos be realized. Because the Theme Park Tycoon 2 core community, the people who watch these videos, the video you're watching right now, the numbers are slowly dwindling, and I think that's in part due to what I've been speaking about in this video, but also just the way that some people in the community have acted over the last couple years. I'm partly at fault with this. I'm gonna put my hands up and say sometimes I have not been the greatest influence in this community, and it is quite embarrassing that I used to be so much more toxic. Obviously, I never did anything completely terrible, but I just feel like I haven't been the best I could be, and I am working on that. Hopefully, you guys have noticed in the last, couple months that I have been a lot better than I used to be. But I also just wanted to kind of say to everyone who's watching, especially the people who are super dedicated players who play Theme Park Tycoon 2 every day, who have been playing the game for years or have thousands of hours, please remember, we are not the only people who play Theme Park Tycoon 2. This game gets up to 12,000 active players sometimes on the weekends, and sometimes even more than that. So if Dennis releases something like a new template or a new coaster that you don't like, remember, he's not doing it for you. He's doing it for all of the game's players. And also, please remember that, like, everyone doesn't have the time or the interest into building insanely realistic recreations or roller coasters. If someone doesn't have, 50 hours to spend on a single coaster's layout and track in a 1 meter method, or a coaster isn't super smooth, please just don't be so toxic about it, because I know it's not as good as some other builds, but at the end of the day, they're having fun with the game and they want to showcase off what they're doing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I really wish people would stop attacking each other because they don't want to spend forever on their build, or nitpicking small things, either because they just, want to be toxic because it fills some deep hole inside them, or just because they think they're better than them. And I'm not saying this is for any specific person. I'm not gonna lie, everything I just talked about there, I've never met someone in the community who is all of those things combined. But I can tell you for certain, the community as a whole, there are some groups, some people who have this exact attitude, and I just think the community would be so much better off, so much more tight-knit, if it wasn't for people just critiquing and attacking each other absolutely constantly. And I just wanted to say as well, before I get off my box right here, that if you are thinking about creating Theme Park Tycoon 2 content, and especially if you've made it this far into the video because you're obviously interested in Theme Park Tycoon 2, please do it. Start creating Theme Park Tycoon 2 videos. Don't dilly-dally. Don't think, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the experience, I don't know what I'm doing. Just start. And trust me, if you aren't perfect at first, you will still have the support of me. And if you need any help, let me know. Like, email me. My email is up on the screen right here now. Please send me an email if you have any questions with content creation, because I really want to see more Theme Park Tycoon 2 YouTubers enter the scene, because always new creators have amazing new ideas that can shake up the community, introduce completely new ideas. I mean, Kosii, for example, he basically started an entire new trend of Theme Park Tycoon 2 videos with the Rating Your Park series. And I really want to see what you guys can create, what you guys can do. So if you've been thinking about making videos, give it a try. Even if you can't post many videos, even if you're like me and post 1 video a month, please just do it. You know, I would love to see what you guys can create. And before I end off here, I just also wanted to say I am working really hard behind the scenes to get new videos out. I want my videos to be as good as possible, and I've got some big videos that I've been working on a long time. Like, I've been spending 10 plus hours on some videos. I've got a video coming out, a showcase that is nearly, I think, 40 minutes long, if I'm right, and I'm really excited to show you it. Thank you so much for watching this entire video. It's probably quite long. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope some of the things that I've laid out you agree with. Let me know what you think down below. If you've got anything else you'd like to see change in Theme Park Tycoon 2, I will be sending this video to Dennis on Twitter DMs. Hopefully he watches it. Hopefully he checks out the comments. Obviously, though, I guess we'll find out. Thank you so much for watching, though. Thank you so much to all the members as well that are popping up on the screen right now. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much, as always, to my top-level members. That's 𝗬𝗬𝗁 and 𝗬𝗵𝘆 Thank you so much, you two, for supporting me. And thanks also for watching this video all the way to the end. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out this video that's popping up on the screen right now. I mean, if you're still watching and this interested in Theme Park Tycoon 2, I'm sure you'll like it. But regardless, I hope to see you all in another video.